My dad told me to stop chasing dreams. Now he asks for investment advice. When I was 18, my dad sat me down at the dinner table after I told him I wanted to start my own business. He sighed, folded his arms, and said, "Son, chasing dreams doesn't pay bills." Those words stuck like a bruise. I remember pushing my food around my plate, pretending it didn't hurt. But it did. He wanted me to work at the local factory like him. Stable, predictable, safe. But something in me couldn't do it. I wanted more. So, against his advice, I packed up my things, took a bus to the city, and started working night shifts while studying online. At first, everything went wrong. My first startup failed in 6 months. I lost my savings, ate instant noodles for weeks, and even considered going back home. But every time I almost gave up, I'd remember how Dad said, "Dreams don't pay bills." That line became fuel, not an insult. I took freelancing jobs, learned marketing, and started helping small businesses grow online. Slowly, things began to click. I started waking up early, reading business books, and studying how people made success look effortless when, in truth, it never was. By the time I turned 26, I launched a small digital agency. Nothing fancy, just me, a laptop, and a few loyal clients. But I was free. No boss, no clocking in, no factory noise. A few years later, that little agency turned into a full-blown firm with employees, contracts, and even overseas clients. I hired people smarter than me, invested in better tools, and built a culture my dad never got to experience at his job. One that valued ideas, not just attendance. I bought a modest house, the kind my dad always dreamed of owning. Then one Sunday, out of nowhere, my dad called. "Hey, son," he said, his voice softer than usual. "You busy?" I thought he was going to scold me about not visiting enough. Instead, he said, "I was wondering if you could help me understand this stock thing. Everyone's talking about investing, and I figured you'd know more than I do." I laughed, not in a mean way, more like disbelief mixed with pride. The man who once told me to stop chasing dreams now wanted my opinion on how to make his money grow. I walked him through the basics: ETFs, compound interest, diversification. Stuff he'd never cared about before. He listened carefully, even took notes. A week later, he called again. "So I invested a little. Remember that app you told me about? I'm using it." I could hear the excitement in his voice. It reminded me of how I felt during my first big win. For the first time, our conversations weren't tense or awkward. We actually talked about finance, business, life. Last month, when I visited home, he showed me his tiny investment corner in the living room. A desk, a notebook, and his laptop. "You inspired me, son," he said, almost whispering. "Yes, dreams do pay bills after all." We sat there for hours, talking about how he used to see people like me as reckless. He admitted he never hated my dream. He just didn't know how to support it. "When I was your age," he said, "no one told us we could build our own path. I thought playing it safe was the only way to survive." Hearing that broke something in me. Not in a painful way, but like a wall finally came down. Now, every Sunday, we have what he calls money talk. He brings his notebook, I bring my laptop, and we plan his goals together. He even jokes that I'm his financial coach. Sometimes he'll brag to his friends, "My boy's got his own business. He's the one teaching me now." It's funny how things come full circle. The man who once feared my failure now celebrates my success. And I realized that success isn't just about proving people wrong. It's about helping them see what's possible, even if they didn't believe at first. Sometimes the sweetest victories aren't about revenge or pride. They're about turning doubt into inspiration and fear into faith.